and welcome to the old Raggamuffin show, cheese. Look who's in the building. The original. I'm a powering part of them man that bust me, you know. A man. The original. Deadly Hunta. Tell them right. Same. Yeah. What are you saying, family?
Yeah, man, I'm good still, you know, can't complain. Just here under the lock and key of the lockdown, but you don't know how it goes. We have to survive the thing any which way that we can right now.
Yes, brother, I'm trying to stay up. I don't see you for a minute though.
I know it's been a while now, you know what I'm saying, King, but like I said, like the lockdown said, everybody locked down. We're a little distance from each other now. So, you know, always in thoughts and in the heart still, even if we're not seeing each other regularly. But, you know, like the lockdown has had us, it's had us kind of in a way, I think, especially for us artists as well. Like, you know, we're
moving
down,
different, innit? Moving mad, innit?
It's a different vibe now. It's a different vibe, different energy. And to be honest, I'm not sure if we're really going to even see back the vibes which we had from however long ago. I don't think we're going to see that vibe back again. I don't know when.
Brother, that's kind of my thinking still. Like, I know, you know, you talk to people, everyone's like, nah, man, it will, and hold the faith and blah, blah. And of course, we hope and we try and hold the faith. And as soon as it does come back, we're ready. You know that already. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the reality of it is there's like a lot of difficulties that's going to be in the way before we can even get to anything that was like what we was there before. Like, you know,
I think we've got a lot of things to face, and I think at the same time there's a lot of things which we have been speaking about in the music which has now come to light. I think this is another point as well, is that we've been speaking certain things for a long time. It's not since the coronavirus leaked the other day that we were saying certain things. They can look back in our history 10 years ago and way further than that. And the things which has manifested today, you can see we were speaking about those things a long time ago. You know, we didn't know how it was going to happen. We didn't know how they was going to introduce it.
That's right. You didn't know what tools they was going to use to manipulate or what was going to be the coming about of it. But you knew we were singing and we were saying, listen, ready up yourself, you know, because this thing is coming, you know.
That's right. That's right.
And it's been just like that. But listen, hold on, wait. Before we get into the reason, because I know, listen, to all who don't know, you know, this is my brother from another mother, you know. So when we start, you know, we start. So before we go into the thing, because you see we're ready to go into the thing already, you know. I want to hit you with some quick fire questions first. And then we'll get into the
man.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, let's do that.
You good with that?
Yeah, man, of course.
All right, then, boom, let's go. So, Apple or Android?
Apple every day.
All right. Lemon or lime?
Lime.
Ackee or callaloo?
Callaloo.
Kale or spinach?
Kale.
Sugarcane or mango?
Mango.
Rice or couscous?
If I have to, couscous.
Yeah, I know that's not your thing still. I'm not saying of your thing still, but yeah. Guinness or Dragon Stout?
Well, I forgot for the Guinness still in there.
All right. So all right then. Plantain or plantain?
Plantain.
Oh, what?
No, I the box.
Fizzle said you was going to say plantain, you know.
To the border England, isn't it? Fizzle say he's a jam English, you, isn't it?
He's going to say plantain, you know. Wow.
My mother would box me, boy.
I was thinking, you know what I'm saying? It's a plantain or what? All right then. Ryanair or Wizz Air?
Boy, two bag of crap. Ryanair.
Why is it Ryanair over Wizz Air?
I think they got about an inch more space for the knees. Like, you know, I think you get about an inch more Ryanair. You get me, fam?
You know why I would have. I would have said Ryanair as well. But the reason why I would have said Ryanair is anytime I fly Wizz Air, I always got the middle seat, and there's some big brother one come sit on there.
Exactly.
You know them Eastern Europe man tick, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you get one of them each side here, you're finished, bro.
Yeah. So that's why, if I get for the Ryan there, I could just elbow a little you down. Oh, man, you know what I mean? I bad him up, but on them with their flight there, you know what I mean?
It's different things,
The
isn't
big
it?
jump, the man that will string you up, you know?
No escape, bro. No escape.
All right, over there. Smoke it or drink it?
Drink it.
Shabba or Ninja?
That's a difficult one. That's the most difficult one yet. That's really hard. Like, just about Shabba, just about.
All right. Gully or Gaza?
Boy, that's another difficult one as well, you know. I'm like 50-50, but Vibes Cartel. Yeah, I'm going to go Vibes Cartel of Gaza.
Right. All right. Chip or Stormzy?
Boy, Chip, you know. Jeez. Stormzy just, he put his foot in the wrong boots that day, you know. You know what I'm saying? The man said if the cap fit, then wear it, edit. Like, bro, that don't fit you, bro.
Chip
that cap don't fit you.
Chip not easy, yeah. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even taking sides. I'm just here for the bars, as the man does.
All right.
Chip
Edit.
easy, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I'm telling you, man, you can't rap with them, you dead. No way.
All right. Lady Leisha or Miss Dynamite? In a high day still. In their high day. Yeah.
In that high day, like, you know what it is with them two is that, you know, the lyrical content of Miss Dynamite, I would have to say is number one. But I think in terms of talent, style and talent and stuff, I'd have to give it to Lady Leisha. So it's difficult for me. I'm going to have to go for Miss Dynamite because but consciousness have to come first at the end of the day. So, you know what I mean?
All right, then. Last one, yeah?
Yeah.
Jasmine or Melissa?
Nah, putting up, you're mad, star. A suicide thing this now. I want this suicide thing, Reggie. You're trying to get me killed, Reggie. Hey, Fizzle, I love you, you know. Bad, yeah? And Melissa, I love the two of them now. Bad. It's like when you have kids here, and my mum and dad, they say, you don't love one kid more than you love the next. You know, yo, them is like me pick me them, so we have to love them equally, you know what I mean? Trust me, fam.
I'm waiting to see if he's going to flip up, but I know you're not flip up with that. You know, your life wouldn't be worth living after that one. It
wouldn't be worth it, bro. I couldn't even come on your ends again. I couldn't even come up there. I'll be hiding out more than Stormzy, bro. Yeah.
Garner and then just like disappear for a minute. You know what I mean?
You get me?
Let's talk about you first before we move on to what you're upon now. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Deadly Hunta. Original Deadly Hunta. When did this start for you then?
Well, I would say that it started from, I was living at home with my parents. I'd say it started for me in terms of my music career.
Yeah.
Because, you know, my dad was he was very much into his music. He's from Kingston, Jamaica, and he's got great knowledge of the early sound systems, you know, and throughout my early days of growing up, he always had his record player, and he had some very expensive records as well. Sometimes my dad would buy records back, I'm talking about in the 80s and stuff, 50, 60 pounds he's coming in with albums for that price.
Yeah.
You know, he had a good sound system as well.
You could have played them.
I couldn't touch them, man. I couldn't touch none of them. You know what I mean? Them was lock off, man. Couldn't get to those ones. But he had his sound system. And, you know, the memories that I had from very early was, you know, many nights in bed, and my dad would come on with his friends, they smoke the ganja, they're playing the music, they're playing their records, heavy bass coming through, you know, you got school the next day, it don't matter. Heavy bass coming through the floor, you know, and
yeah, man.
It was a university, it was like a university. We didn't know at the time what was really happening, but it was a university that we were in, and the knowledge that I got from that era of time is something that has, you know, spilled over into what I do today, and it still plays a big part.
I'm ancient, way before the Greeks, Pythagoras. I roll with my smoke dogs, solo and valorous. Some mad at us, just because we stars them hazardous. I'm back from the dead like Jesus from Nazareth.
That was the start of it, I would say.
Don't you find I find that amazing sometimes, that still the very first things I learned are still probably the most important lessons that I have with me today. You know what I mean?
It's true. I find that that's something. The way I look at that as well is that regardless, reggae music hasn't had its day, I would say. It hasn't had its day yet. But still, in terms of when it comes to music, building new music, you always have to go back to that foundation reggae music for you to be able to set up like a new music. You can always find these foundations back in reggae music. So, you know, we said it many a time, no matter whether it's house music, rock music, hip hop music, no matter what it is, you always have to go back to reggae. So that university, you can't lock off those early days. They're the most important days out of everything. And if you've got those early days under your belt, I would say you're of an advantage today, because like you said, the lessons that we learned from them times they're valuable lessons which you can't just learn again now. Yeah, like no, that.
I agree with that too, you know, because I find that all right then, I would imagine then, let me word it like this then, I would imagine that there's enough people that might have come up in different, let's say different genres then, in a different era, and never came up from that university like we're talking about. And I find they lose their balance if you throw them a curveball. You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
you get them
exactly.
a rhythm and just say, yo, jump on this. They can't do that. If it's not their thing, what they do, they're struggling. Whereas I find out mans will come up from that university there, and the women that come up from that university there, chuck any rhythm in front of me. And we can
find something
like that. You know what I mean?
That's true. You know what I find is that back in those days, there wasn't the facilities that we had nowadays really to be able to like we never had a man just giving us a rhythm like, yo, here's a rhythm, you know, put someone on that rhythm, and then you know we never looked at it in that way. It was always from a sound system perspective.
Have mercy on my soul. As a pop try to keep my God. Have mercy on many men.
Which is different from nowadays, because we don't really have the sound system, especially UK. The rest of Europe has kind of embraced it more and still are on it now, and we still have it here. But you know what I'm saying? The way that we had it back then is a different thing to how sound system even is now. And in those days, I'd walk down the street and vibes come to my head. Yeah, and then I'm gonna be going over that vibes in my head. And at home, I've got plenty of rhythm, but I've got like 2 or 3 rhythms that I'm basically basing all of my lyrics off of. So when I get that vibe in my head, I had a dictaphone them time there, to be honest. Yeah, I had a little dictaphone. So I'd put the little vibe on my dictaphone. The phones never had recorders and thing them time. No. We never even had mobile phone them time. Yeah?
Phone box business, you know what I mean?
Exactly. You better have a good memory to remember all of those things, you know what I mean?
Yes,
but them days, I had my dictaphone, so I just do it onto my dictaphone, whatever vibe I came up with. And then what I would do is I would go home.
Yeah.
I would go home and I would take out the 2-3 rhythms tracks that were my favorite, and any lyrics that I had, I would build it on those rhythm tracks. I'd build the lyrics and then it would fit on one of those. I would make it fit. So it wasn't a lyrics that was built to
just
design for a rhythm.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No.
Yeah, it had scope, like it was his own entity. You know what I mean? It wasn't something that was designed. Nowadays, even myself, I found that through having to repeat doing, since my career kind of took off and plenty of people are sending me instrumentals and saying, write lyrics for this, write lyrics for that, it's changed me as a person. Whereas now, when I'm trying to ride rhythm with the lyrics that I wrote to a beat, I'm finding it difficult because I've designed this lyrics for that rhythm.
For that beat specifically, and it's not, and you can't transpose it.
I can't transpose it. That's right.
Another thing, you know what I mean?
That's right.
Oh my. These are the truth and a lie. Ding, ding, ding. Answer the phone, you know see me calling. You that me want figure, put on the ring. You are my girl, welcome to my world. Put on your clothes, make I show you something. Ring, ring, ring. Ding, ding, ding. Answer the phone, you know see me calling. Ring, ring, ring. Ding, ding, ding. Put on your clothes, make I show you something.
Whereas in the old days, you know, we could just like, we could go somewhere and the man would play a rhythm and you know, we had like 100 odd lyrics them times more in our head. We would know. That's right. Innit? It's like a computer. It would be like, okay, that lyrics would fit it. That lyrics is going to fit this kind of rhythm. That lyrics is going to fit this rhythm. And you just, it was automatic kind of thing. So
I mean, like as well, sorry to cut you. I like it. but like from them time there as well is when there's other man there as well, or other artists, other MCs there as well, to stay on subject.
Yeah.
What next man is talking about as well. You know what I mean? So you have to go through your catalogue again and just say, well, my man's talking about women now. All right, yeah, you know, and you know the thing.
It's true. I was explaining this to my girl just yesterday as well, and I was saying to her, like, you know, because I was saying to her when I came back from Jamaica early in my career in 1994, I went to Jamaica. When I came back from Jamaica, you know, I was so on fire. You know, I was so happy to go in the environment with artists and to have new artists. I didn't care where they come from because my catalogue was so strong. And what I was saying to her was, you know, this is how it went, is that we would be around the mic, around somebody's house, whatever, on the mic, and a Ganja Man tune taught now. So that person took a Ganja tune. Now in your mind, you think, okay, you line up all your Ganja tunes there already. So, okay, here's my Ganja tune. So when I get back to you, you got to come out with a Ganja tune.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're on a Ganja thing now, bro. And it's kind of like, my mentality is, I got too much, I ain't going to run out of Ganja tune. It's not me going to change it. You're going to have to run out of Ganja tune because I've got a catalogue of Ganja tune right here.
You're like, oh, all right, Ganja, then come on then. Let me see what you got there.
It was that. That was the mentality.
You know what I mean?
That was the mentality them days. It was like bully boy tactics when I came to when I was in front of people. Like, that's how I felt because I was so into my music. I was so passionate about it. I had a lot of lyrics, you know, and we were just passionate about it without even thinking about money, without thinking about it as being a career or something like that. We just had the music in our blood, you know.
There, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think when. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, no. So I was gonna say it goes back to the question what you was asking me, which was like, you know, how did it start? And it started from passion. It was never something that we was ever looking at to think to ourselves, it's going to be some financial thing, we're going to make money out of this or anything.
Yeah, you know.
It was just passion that was driving us. It was something that we had a really powerful drive for, and we done it like a job. I remember like many days and nights I would stay up. My mum and dad had a little conservatory out the back. I would be there 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, many nights in a row. And some nights you're there and we was writing like 5, 6 lyrics a night sometimes. In one night, you're working on 5, 6 lyrics. You might finish 2 of them. You might get 1 verse on that one. You might get 2 verses on that one. You might, you know, and by the time you got like 7 kind of next couple of days, you got 7, 8 lyrics finished.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we come from. It was like school of hard knocks. And the man who I had around me as well, they weren't mess about guys, really. I had people like Teacher Man.
Yeah.
I know you know Teacher Man. Central Dixie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had like Dusty. Yeah, rest in peace, man. Like Dusty, Screechyless, Rudy Rich. There were so many different characters that was around us. Valorous, my right-hand man, Valorous was there. You had so much different man, and they all had different strengths.
Yeah.
You know, so you had to be very prepared. Like, you know, Teacher Man, he's a very conscious man. You know what I'm trying to say? So when you come to the mic, make sure you talk real stuff.
Make sure you're ready.
Yeah, and don't talk no crap.
You can't stand next to them man and talk rubbish, you know. That's
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Don't speak anything that you haven't experienced in real life.
Yeah.
You understand it?
Yeah.
Right? Central Dixie, yeah, as well, from Birmingham. He used to have the world of like killer bad boy lyrics as well. So you had to be ready. These guys was like clash specialists. So, you know, you had to be on your toes. And you had Valorous, who wasn't really somebody who would push himself on anybody. He was always a humble character, but you knew that his caliber was 150%.
I always used to view Valorous as like some silent, deadly assassin, you know.
I'm telling you.
I love to see the youths them shun ya. Reality again we under. One them much love reach up. Upon a devil not judgment I creep up. Beat down when the lion not leap up. What them I keep up.
Yeah, like you say, be humble. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't even know if he's in the room then way there. You know what I mean? But when he step and take the microphone, you know, my man was just but you know who he used to remind me of? He used to remind me of Hawkeye.
Okay.
You know that artist that Hawkeye used to go with Red Rat and them?
Yeah.
There's one lyrics that Hawkeye got and it always remind me of Valorous, you know. Hawkeye got this tune and he said, don't need no glasses to see that they are fascists. Smiling at your face, behind your back, they cut them lashes. But them lashes, you know. And, you know, I know Vallis had a style like this, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And he used to write like that, you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah, he did. It's like, I'd say that he came from more of like a hip hop perspective. Like the way that he broke down his thing, because he used to listen to a lot of hip hop. He was well into his hip hop. So he used to, the way he broke down the lyrics was in a hip hop format. The metaphors and the similes that he used to use were, a lot of them, like, you know, was coming from the hip hop world, but the reggae world wasn't really ready for that yet.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point. That's how we use the bar like that. You just like, raw.
Yeah,
but the first man I hear like that still, you know.
And that's the thing. And like he was like that from day one. And the thing was, I even spoke to Teacher Man a couple of months ago, and he was like, we was even saying like, boy, you know what? I hear Valorous in Vibes Cartel. You know what I mean? Even in Vibes Cartel, I'm hearing Valorous, like, Valorous was breaking down them styles like that from the 90s.
From there,
from the
early
90s, Valorous was breaking down them styles like that. You know what I mean? So, you know how things go already. You know what I mean? Not saying directly, but indirectly. Like, Valorous had them styling for years. Them styling a long time.
Yeah, he was throwing it down like that for a while, and it's true what you're saying. Yeah, no one was doing it that way there at all. It was proper like hip hop style, like the breaking down of the words and even inventing new words kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
He was there. Yeah, you know what I mean? He was in there like that. You know.
But that's where I get half of my style from.
What you say?
That's where I get half of my style from. And I'm trying to say because.
So you teeth it from Valorous?
I didn't teeth it because when you're with your brethren, yeah. Yeah, you bounce off each other. So we used to bounce off each
that
other.
You call it.
And we done, and he got some from me, and me get some from him. You understand?
Yeah, of course.
But I never deny it that a lot of what I got it come from Valorous. So I'd never deny that. That's the truth.
Yeah. You teeth a few lyrics off of me though, innit? And I just make you go on with them, innit?
Never yet.
Brother.
Say what?
Come on, listen, think about it.
Hunter,
think about the caliber of my lyrics. Think about the caliber of... Yeah.
And then he spread off the chair, you know? I think he made me break my chair, you know?
I never got less than an A+. What
are you trying to say, fam? Brother.
I think you got B's. You was on
idiot.
B's.
You idiot.
I need joking, fam.
You know, I was thinking, I had a memory the other day in the car. To all who don't know, like, we used to do enough shows together on the road. When I first started to touch road, I was always with Hunter, you know what I mean? Even before I was billed, to be fair. We tell people this all the time, I just used to roll with you, innit? Just used to roll with you, or sometimes I might introduce you, you know what I mean?
That's right, yeah.
And things like that. And I was thinking about it the other day. I saw a memory come up on Facebook. It had the flyer. And it was me, you, and Dama. Big up Damalistic every time. In Cross Club, Czech Republic, Prague, yeah? And I'm going to tell you the whole story. You remember, they bring out the flyer, and I was making joke about the flyer, because obviously you was like top of the bill in it, and I had a little picture of me in the corner. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, start to put my picture so small, you know. Yeah. Just making joke anyway, but the memory that come to me was we was in the club, and he said to me, but he used to do this all the time. But he said to me, but so I'm not feeling very well today, you know. I don't feel good, yeah. So listen, when you got there before me, don't go too hard, innit? Don't go too hard, innit, Carl? But in my head, I was like, whatever. Cause enough time I heard you say that to me. You know, enough time. Like one time we was in Bristol, and I know I'm going off a bit. One time we was in Bristol, and I was introducing you. But before we went on, all the way to drive to Bristol, you was like, I don't feel good, you know. I don't feel good. And we're on stage, you're like, I don't feel good. Look at them interview. Everybody, Deadly Hunta. You come out and you mash up the place. Jumping over the stage. And I'm what's wrong with this guy? I'm sure Margot was with us. And I said, Margot, I'm sure this man told me he was ill. And then you come to the stage and you was like, what? I don't feel well, you know. I don't feel well. But anyway, so when we're in Prague now, I got the same meds. You understand what I mean? And you're telling me don't go hard, don't go hard. So I was like, all right, we'll see. Remember this time they gave me like half an hour.
Okay.
I went there with a bag of tune, thinking I was gonna do like 45 minutes, an hour in it.
Right. Yeah.
They give me half an hour. Yeah, don't go hard. All right, watch this. So I went out there and I was like, wait, next tune. Wait, next tune. And I went hard, yeah. And when I come off, you was not vexed, but joking vexed. You're like, you just done exactly what I told you not to do. You know? I laughed to that week, man. And we went out there same way. I mash up the place. And then I thought, well, it's sick. I just threw the Facebook memory come up to, you know what I mean? Yeah. I miss being on the road with the eyes still, you know.
Trust me, fam, those were the best days, actually. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's even more of a blessing when you get to move with one of your party them, you know what I mean? One of your spa them. You know, you have somebody, especially an artist, even just moving with somebody, even if they're not even performing is nice. Yeah. But when you're performing with somebody, we had the world of jokes, man. We had the world of jokes, you know? It was such a blessing, that period of time. And especially, like, I'd say, in Europe at that time, it was still early days. You know, this is early 2010, 2011, 2012. It was very early, so the people were really embracing what we were doing to the maximum. So we got the full enjoyment out of the whole vibes. You know, I think as time got on, things kind of changed up. But those early days, they was golden, man.
Man. I think those are my favorite days still. Just
man.
From the moment we did link up, it was just jokes. You know what I mean? The flight, everything was just vibes. It was just nice.
They say that the journey, you know, sometimes is better than the destination itself. And for me, those times I can say, you know, I can look back at my career and I can say that definitely the journey was so beautiful, and those are the memories that I really carry more than anything else. Was those early ones when people was getting to know us. You know, those are the best days for sure.
And I remember you taught me a real valuable lesson that I ain't never forgot. You know, about attitude. When you're there, when you're amongst people, you understand what I mean? You know.
Yeah.
And you always used to say that still. You know what I mean? Like, we up for the people love our spirit and that, and we even noticed that even with bookings, because you would get a booking somewhere by yourself and the people would have such a joyful time with you. The next thing they do is they're asking you for my link because they see how we just power anyway, and they say, well, we had such a good time with Hunter, we want to bring his brethren because we know we're going to have a good time, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So I'll go somewhere and they was like, oh, sorry, we had a great time, you know. We want Deadly now because we feel you are the same. I said, listen, you would have an even better time with him. You know what I mean? And
yes, sir.
So attitude and just being happy and positive goes a long way in this thing.
Goes a long way.
It's not just what you do on stage, you know. People's got to work with you off stage, you know. People got to spend the weekend with you or whatever.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And even I remember a lot of the fans used to also really appreciate that after the show, you go, you know, a lot of big artists after the show, you're not going to see them again. They go backstage, you don't see them. But many times we would just go out. We could see people wanting to see us. You know, if we had our CDs, we wouldn't just throw them from the stage. We throw a couple, but we keep some. We go out into the crowd, we speak to the people and build a relationship with those people as well. Yeah, and I think this is something that the people really loved from us as well, is that connection that we had with the people. It wasn't just some, you know, just listen to the music and ease the style over there and then, you know what I mean, you have to go back and see them on the internet. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that.
We always used to hang out still, you know what I mean? And meet people and things like that, you know?
Yeah. And at the same time, it was great because, like you're saying, that, you know, throughout that weekend that somebody spends with you, they get to learn about you as well. And like I said to you, the journey that we've had amongst different artists that we was with, it's like, you know, I always had Teacher Man and certain other guys, when I used to go to somewhere and I was chatting lyrics, it's like, it was always in the back of my head, like, you better make sure that you're talking real stuff, the real thing, the real you talk. That's what we're going to forward here, the real you. When you start talking some fiction stuff, they'll murder you inside there. So I was always aware of that. And I think this is what even the promoters and they would love, because we put the message in the music at the end of the day. We put the food in the music. We put about the vibration in the music. We put, if you think Managa love your color, in the music. So when we was around them for that weekend, they could see that it wasn't just something this guy was putting his music.
Nah, this was
a liberty.
This is a liberty. This is how the man roll, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think they respect them things. Those things are to be highly respected as well, because there's certain artists that I know which portray a certain thing, but I know that they deal with another thing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't respect them for that. I lose respect for artists if I know, you know, they're meant to be doing certain message and they're licking coke, and then you're out there now chatting about put down the coke. It don't work. Like, nah, I don't rate you.
Nah.
I don't rate you for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real, brother.
Yeah.
For real. I'm just reminiscing now. I'm still thinking about something there. You remember when I killed you in the airport? Remember that crash in the airport? I murdered you.
I don't think we can say that's official. Yeah, I think that's a bit like
the whole flight back. Where was we coming from? Spain.
Yeah, Spain. I think it was actually. Yeah.
And we had a clash, and I murdered you all the way.
This is a bit like Trump and Biden.
No, it's nothing like that.
Trump is out there saying like he won. Trump's like, yeah, I won this. You know, Trump's out there talking them thing. You don't want to give that up, bro. You get me? But everybody kind of knows that Biden won that. You get me?
It's not.
So no disrespect. I'm not gonna long that one out. I'm gonna leave that one with you.
I'm gonna say this like Trump and Biden, Terrell. In your face, you know. Yo, this is hell, bro.
And you go walk and talk to them. We want to walk and back again, blink it out again. You tell tough and foe to friend to foe. Don't you know? White, black, pink, or indigo. Indigo's on the go, man, keep it go. We got heroin, got time to hold. Take me back off, to go. We take example, we need to show. In the same church, we need to go. So you got time for that glow. Oh, that minute, know them warning. Big man to play with them trying. They've been on the back of a finder. He was shit on a Sunday kind of. I got a scope of them trying. That's our system on tonight. The only two friends that like this, that you want. So this and this and this and this and this and this.
Great time still, you know what I mean? But musically, like in the studio works, you're writing and you got some projects going on, or?
Yeah, I got some projects that's going on. Like from the last year when the first lockdown hit, it kind of I lost a lot of motivation in that time, to be honest, because I had my album that was already set to go. I'd finished it, everything was set. All I had left to do was a few videos, which was very important to me in terms of putting the message across from inside of the songs that I was doing. And, you know, I had it all planned out. And after I'd released the first track and video, that went out. I just released the second single and was arranging to have the video done. And the lockdown came in. So I basically, not by choice, when they came with the first lockdown, they said it was going to be 3 weeks, a month, whatever. I was like, you know what, let me give it the 3 weeks, the month, however long they're saying it's going to be. And then after that, I'll continue with the album. And as you know, they prolonged it. So it never really happened. And last year was like a write-off. So we never basically got to do anything. So I said to myself, like, you know what, I'm going to hold back the project until the right time. And looking at things now, I'm not sure if there's ever going to be a right time in the way that I really wanted to do it. Yeah. So, you know, I've got a whole album, basically, to answer your question, sitting down there that I finished from the beginning of last year. And I was still doing some works in the studio from last year, doing some works for some different producers and stuff. I'm working on some of my own stuff. Recently, I've just been back in the studio putting down some tracks as well. So, you know, another thing I was saying to my partner is that I'm a machine. Like, I'm a machine. Like, the amount of lyrics that I've got, Bridging, yeah? I can release a song every week this year. If I want a fresh song every week this year, I could release. You know what I'm trying to say? And I say that confidently because, you know, music, again, is a passion. music is not something we just done for the money or something. I keep saying that. It's something passionate that I was doing like a professional before the thought of making money. And now that there's really, for me, the main income for me was making money from my shows. Now that I'm not able to do that, the passion is still there. Obviously, I've got 4 children and I've got other things in life which I have to take care of, the rent and the insurance and stuff. So I have to be thinking about making money in other areas now, but the music is something that I've always said to myself will never ever die down. It's something that I will be doing until the day that I die, and the music is something that I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, you know? I feel kind of up now. I was like, but again, like what you say, when the first lockdown and dragging on and rare, my inspiration kind of left me for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Like. People were sending me projects and I answered them honestly. I said, listen, I like the rhythm and I'm going to do it. But don't rush me though, because me's a man that take my time anyway. But now, the way things is now and this vibe, I ain't really got a lot of vibes at the moment. So it could take a minute before I get something that I'm really happy with and finish it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, when you're on the road, you go away and you have a vibe session and you're feeling good. So all on the plane, I'll write that on the plane when I'm coming back in the morning.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, man.
From the weekend and from last night. You know what I mean? So I'll have the hook and the first verse on the flight back in the morning. You know what I mean? But like, so I find a struggle at time. It was a struggle, but yeah, it's coming back now. And like you said, I'm actually finding the original power. The original emotion, the original thing that you were talking about, what it was for in the first place. That is what I feel. That is what I feel igniting and burning up inside it now. So I'm kind of excited still in that way there. You know what I mean? Cause I feel like that passion is all about that passion now, really.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to see any other ends. You know what I mean? So it is again back about that passion there. You know what I mean?
It is. No, I totally agree with you there. Like I went back into the studio a few weeks ago and like I could just feel the energy. I was like, you know what, I've been in the studio 1-2 times over the last year, but I know what I've got inside me that's stirring up, ready to come out. It's some emotional, passionate stuff that I've got in there to come out. Some bangers. I've got, you know what I mean? There's a lot of built up over that year that I'm just like, when I get into that studio, like I'm like a sicko. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a serial killer inside of that studio right now. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. You better put on your armor if you're gonna come studio me right now because.
Oh yeah, that's good. You was always like that though. You was always like that though. You was always a slayer, bro. You was always a slayer. The microphone stand left wobbling. Yeah, man. Enough time you come in the dread quarters, you know, and come voice that. And when you done, after you done your verse and step away, the mic stand is still wobbling like this. Come on, brother, man. So you're gonna record your bit. Like, let the mic cool down a little bit. I'm not going nowhere near that thing for a moment, bro. Like, open the window and thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
see?
right.